The trial of a former Greenwood Village police officer accused of shooting and killing a teenager starts today. Adam Holland faces second-degree murder charges. 9 News reporter Brianna Fernandez joins us live from the Arapahoe County District Court. And Brianna, this trial has been pushed back for several years now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the family has been waiting more than 2 years. The reason that the trial has been delayed at least twice, that's because Holland waived his rights to a speedy trial. Now, investigators say that the former police officer shot and killed the teen, Peyton Blitzstein, the day before Thanksgiving back in 2021. So this happened outside a home in southeast Aurora, and the case against Holland centers around a doorbell camera capturing the sound of gunshots. Police say that this all began with an argument over careless driving. Holland followed the teen's car and confronted him about his driving. Court documents show Holland took out a gun, then Blitzstein shot at him. Holland fired back, killing the teen. Investigators believe Holland was a primary aggressor because he initiated contact with Blitzstein and his friends and chose not to drive away when things escalated. Court documents also show that Holland was drunk at the time.
He is the aggressor, and I think the jury, with the facts, the video especially, is going to see that. I don't think without the video we would have a case, but I think that video says it all and tells everybody the position Peyton was put in.
Now, according to court documents, Holland told the responding officers that he had retired from the police department a week before the shooting. Now, what we can expect today, jury selection is expected to start at 8:30, and then that trial is expected to last until next Thursday. Jordan, Corey.
All right. Thanks for the update, Brianna.
It has been more than 3 years since this video of Aurora police officers holding a woman and young girls at gunpoint gained national attention. Well, now the city has to pay the family close to $2 million. It happened during the summer of 2020 when Aurora police faced months of protests over the killing of Elijah McClain. Officers stopped the family because they thought they were in a stolen car.
There's kids. They had guns on kids.
Out, the car was not stolen, and police got mixed up looking for a stolen motorcycle. The officers involved in this stop kept their jobs, partly because prosecutors found that they were following their training. Prosecutors asked APD to review policies so it wouldn't happen again. The city will pay $1.9 million to settle the family's lawsuit.
Right now, Denver police are tracking the number of people who are drugged against their will in the city. It's a first for the department after a number of survivors came forward last year. It all started after a number of drugging incidents were reported in a short amount of time. Data from last year shows 46 cases of drugging were reported to police. So far this year, police have taken 5 reports of drugging. They've only made 1 arrest. It can be discouraging for people to come forward as the exam might not always catch the substance they are given.
We know that on average, only 10% of survivors come forward with cases, report them to the police. So we know that this is a tiny percentage of what's, being seen more broadly.
If you are planning on going out to the bar, make sure you keep an eye on your drink. And if you feel off, immediately try and get help. A number of bars and breweries in Denver are trained to help in case someone tries to hurt you. It's called the Safe Bars Program. We have more information for you on that program on 9news.com.
The presidential election is less than 9 months away and new this morning. A poll from NBC News shows that Americans have some concerns with the 2 frontrunners. This poll came out overnight, and it shows that one of the top concerns is President Biden's fitness. In January, 76% of people said that they are worried about his mental and physical health. 48% of people polled said the same about Donald Trump. Another major focus, Trump's criminal and civil trials, including the ones to overturn the 2020 election. 61% of people listed that as a concern, and 59% said that they were concerned about Biden's potential involvement with his son Hunter's business dealings.
Today, the House of Representatives is planning to vote on its impeachment resolution against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Republicans on the committee claim he committed high crimes and misdemeanors based on how he's handling things at the southern border. Democrats on the committee argue the evidence does not reach that level. If the full House passes the resolution, Mayorkas would become the first cabinet secretary to be impeached in nearly 150 years.
In the Senate, leaders are promising a vote this week on a new border and immigration deal. They have been negotiating for months now. They are calling it a national security package. The deal includes $60 billion to back the war in Ukraine, $14 billion for Israel, $4.8 billion to counter China's growing influence, and $20 billion to address the crisis at the U.S. southern border. It would trigger a shutdown at the border if more than 5,000 migrants cross in a single day. It would also expand the number of detention facilities and toughen standards for migrants seeking seeking asylum. But the bill might not make it through the House as Republicans come out against it.
I just don't believe that the Senate bill, as I've explained in all of our statements, meets the criteria that's necessary to solve the problem. That is what we are about here. It's our responsibility to do it. It's what the American people want, and it's what we're going to continue to work on.
House Speaker Mike Johnson wants a standalone bill just for aid for Israel. The White House says that President Biden would veto that.
New overnight, Secretary of State Antony Blinken just arrived in Egypt as part of a trip to the Middle East. It's his 5th trip to the Middle East since October 7th when Hamas attacked Israel. This morning, he met with the president of Egypt to talk about a deal to release hostages in Gaza. It would also include a ceasefire. The U.S. is working with Egypt and Qatar, hoping to get both sides to come to an agreement. But so far, that seems unlikely. Hamas says it won't release any more hostages until Israel stops its strikes. And Israel says it won't stop fighting until it has full control over Gaza.
Right now, more than 30 million people in California are under flood warnings because of a huge storm system that is now headed our way. Let's start in Southern California, where there have been more than 120 mudslides in the Los Angeles area. People have become stranded in their cars, like this man in LA who needed a rescue. Well, Los Angeles County has received nearly a foot of rain so far, and it's not over yet. And closer to the Bay Area, the wind has been a huge problem. You can see trees down on houses, which are now destroyed. At least 3 people have died because of trees falling, and hundreds of thousands of people are without power there this morning. It's not just the rain either. The Sierra Nevada mountains are getting hit with some heavy snow, as you can see right here. More than a foot from this storm alone, with more on the way. The snow made it hard to see on the roads and has made driving nearly impossible.
And one thing you want to know about the weather is that we are going to have mild temperatures once again along the Front Range. Temperatures will be in the 50s. We do see more in the way of clouds. That'll keep us on the mild side. And then tomorrow, maybe a late shower. Temperatures stay in the 50s.
All right.